fighting inequality through public services. What if the greatest weapon against inequality is not charity but classrooms, clinics, and cash transfers? In Africa, fighting inequality begins with everyday government choices. Education, healthcare, social protection. These are not luxuries, they are lifelines. When countries truly invest in them, every child gets a fair shot at a better life. But today, that promise is breaking. The average African country spends just 31.9% of its budget on these services, far below the global average, and that number is falling. In the past 2 years, every African country cut at least one of them. This is not about scarcity, it is about priorities. Take education. Over 33 million African children are out of school. In Nigeria, just 7.9% of the budget goes to education, half of what global experts recommend. Education reduces inequality. Every additional year of schooling can raise income by 10%, especially for the poor. Healthcare is no better. 2 decades after African leaders promised to spend 15% of budgets on health, most still fall short. Only Namibia and Rwanda have met the target. Millions lack care, and out-of-pocket costs push families deeper into poverty. Social protection? On average, just 8.4% of budgets go there, leaving most people without support when they lose work, fall sick, or grow old. Even where services exist, they often exclude those who need them most, especially in rural and fragile areas. But here is the good news: public services work. In Kenya, Ethiopia, and South Africa, cash transfers have kept girls in school, improved nutrition, and supported informal workers. This is not just about budgets, it is about justice. Inequality is not a natural disaster, it is a political choice. And we can choose differently. Fighting inequality through labor and wages work should be a path out of poverty. But for most African workers, it is a trap. Over 80% work in the informal economy with no contracts, no insurance, and no legal protections. Labor laws exist, but most workers are left out and enforcement is weak. Since 2022, labor rights have declined in nearly 90% of African countries. Union busting, delayed wages, and unfair layoffs are on the rise. Women, especially in informal and unpaid care work, face the biggest gaps. Minimum wages are often too low or not enforced. Inflation erodes gains, while top earners take home hundreds of times more than the average worker. Where governments strengthen rights, raise wages, and support unions, inequality shrinks. Where they do not, growth rewards only the few. Without fairness in the workplace, there can be no fairness in society. Fighting inequality through progressive taxation. If work is how we earn, tax is how we share, and in Africa, the sharing is broken. The poor often pay more, proportionally, through taxes like value-added tax on essentials, while the wealthy dodge their share. Many countries have weakened tax systems, letting loopholes, exemptions, and underreporting protect elites. Africa loses over $88 billion every year through illicit financial flows, more than it receives in aid. On paper, taxes look progressive. In reality, they are regressive in practice. Mining giants pay less than small retailers. Property taxes, capital gains taxes, and inheritance taxes are rare or ignored. The fix is clear. Close loopholes. Tax wealth. Protect the poor. Show citizens how taxes improve their lives. Africa is not poor, but we undertax the rich and overtax the poor. Real progress does not come from what the rich give away, it comes from what they can no longer hide. In this episode, we have seen how public services, fair wages, and progressive taxation can challenge inequality. But the fight is not over. In Part 4, we will uncover one of the most contested forces shaping Africa's future taxation. How we tax and who we tax can either trap us in inequality or help set us free. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it.